gimmicks. Yeah. No gimmicks, taking over, no limits. Motivation, the truth inside everything you are hearing. Reporting live, know you feel it. Wrestling is everything that we will know with special meaning. We on it live with no gimmicks. No gimmicks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here once again, alongside my tag team partner Dale Clifford out there in Fernley, Nevada. Welcome to yet another episode of the No Gimmicks Podcast, broadcasting on the 3 and Out Radio Network. Dale, it's good, my man.
What's up, Todd? Getting to go a little international today. Once again, our second international interview, and it comes from the same company as the first one. So very excited to kind of learn a little bit more about another international talent.
Yes, sir, indeed. So joining us from Singapore, we got my man Alex Cuevas. Alex, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, feeling great, and really excited for this interview.
Right on, man. Yeah, so we are definitely crossing time zones here. So tell our viewers, what time is it over there in Singapore right now?
It's about 10 a.m.
Okay.
So,
yes. So it's 9 out here in the East Coast. It's 6 out there where Dell is at. So yeah, so you're 11 hours ahead of me, man. You have breakfast this morning yet?
Yeah, of course. Always have breakfast. 3 eggs, 2 bananas, and a Milo.
Look at you eating healthy and all that, man. Hey, we're glad that you are energetic and you're got a full tummy and you're ready to do this interview. So let's go ahead and dive right in.
Right on.
Let's start here with this, man. You know, you were the one who kind of approached me about doing this interview, and you were very humble, very polite. I appreciate that. You know, very professional. You definitely got your act together for an 18-year-old man. When I was 18 years old, you can forget about it. But hey, I had the chance to check out your highlight reel, and I was impressed, man. You know, you appear to be very, very well versed for your age. So how long have you actually been in the pro wrestling business?
Actually, I started back in 2016. I trained mid-2016. It was actually 2 months right after Velvet Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been about a year and a half, if I'm not wrong, about a year and a half around there.
Okay, good stuff here. So now you've been at this for a year and a half. Which school were you actually trained in?
SPW, same as Velvet.
Okay.
I was trained in the same batch as Velvet Thunder and 2 other guys. So that was our batch for that year.
Okay. So now Dale's got a question for you. Dale, what you got for him?
Tell us a little bit more about the time you spent in a Grapple MAX Dojo and SPW.
Okay. Well, I recently transferred to Grapple MAX Dojo last November. So before that, I was with SPW for over a year plus. SPW, my first year in 2016 was actually, I would say, very good. I debuted it after 3 months of training with the dojo, and I was on my first match. It was a fatal 5-way. It was the opening match, and I felt really good after that. I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So SPW, it was really fun, but after a while, to be honest, people stopped going to training because I think it's a mentality where it's like once they're a wrestler, they don't have to go to training anymore. So after a while, that kind of demotivated me to train for months because nobody was coming, and I felt a bit conflicted. It was like, should I still come? Because nobody was coming. And then I realized that SPW was going through a really tough stage last year with the training schedules because, like I said, nobody was coming, so they didn't really know what they were doing in terms of training their young boys. Like, some guys have been training since 2016, probably right after my debut, and still have not even wrestled till now. And
oh wow,
they don't even look like they're going to wrestle soon because their spots are limited in these SPW companies. So it's going to be very hard for those boys, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. So.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot, that's unfortunate to hear. Now, just to clarify, Grapple MAX Dojo, they are actually a Japanese company that's ran over there in Singapore, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Grapple MAX Dojo is a different approach than SPW. So SPW is more, I would say, American style, more the entertainment style of wrestling, so more gimmick work and everything, while Grapple MAX Dojo is a Japanese-based dojo, so it follows more the pro wrestle, strong style kind of dojo, like the rules and regulations, because we train with no ring, first of all, so we train with on the mat. So we focus more on grappling, chain wrestling, And we can still do like high flying moves, but probably like standing high flying moves, like standing Frankensteiner, but probably nothing with a top rope. Our head advisor is Dick Togo.
Okay, from Cayenne.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Dick Togo, the legend Dick Togo himself, he's the one who is running our company and set up this dojo here. So it's really fortunate that we get to learn under him and the tutelage under him and learn Japanese wrestling under him, because like for my dream, I want to wrestle in Japan. Like it used to be, I used to want to wrestle with WWE, but my height and everything, because I'm actually a cruiserweight, like a junior heavyweight. It's I would say it's right now in my spot is pretty unrealistic. So my more realistic goal is to go to Japan.
Okay.
So yeah, so this dojo is really helping me get there, and I really appreciate that. They're really trying to help me get there.
Okay, so question for you in terms of like your in-ring style and whatnot and your look. Bring your own brand of strong style to the table, Alex, but do you receive any sort of comparisons to the hard-hitting Katsuyori Shibata?
Yeah. I have gotten a lot of comparisons to Shibata, Ibushi, Suzuki as well, because of my style. So my style, I do headbutts in my match sometimes.
Not as hard as him though, right?
Yeah, no, I can't do it as hard as him. I don't want to crack my skull.
Don't do it, man. We want you around. It's unfortunate what's happened to that dude. I don't want you splitting that open.
I feel so bad what happened to him. Like honestly, I felt he was getting a push in New Japan.
Yeah.
And he headbutted and kind of like right now it's like it's been about a year, and hasn't wrestled, and I feel so bad about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, man. I'm just hoping more so than anything else that dude makes a full recovery outside the ring. That's what's the most important thing first.
That
and
is,
then maybe at some point, we will see him back over there kicking ass over there in New Japan. So, hey, Dale's got a question for you in terms of your career and your travels so far.
So you've had the opportunity to work in Australia. What was it like competing in the line down under?
It was a great experience. I debuted it in Australia only after 2 shows in Singapore. So I was pretty young when I went there. So they took care of you pretty well. The people there are so nice. The wrestlers there are really nice. Everyone there was really polite, and they respected me because they know I'm a wrestler and everything. So they always treat me very well there. And the wrestling there also is very, very, it's very good as well. But it's still fresh, I would say, in a way where it was like, they still don't have the proper training in a way compared to Japan and everything. So it's still building up and getting better. And I wasn't the same card as Bobby Lashley, so that was really, really fun to meet him. And I actually did a meet and greet with him on that day. So it was really fun to sit next to him and sign autographs in a way. It was really surreal.
Yeah, that's good experience for you. And yeah, as you were kind of hinting to, man, Australia has kind of produced some really solid talent in the WWE, especially in NXT. As
TM61, exactly.
61, the iconic duo. I want to say Buddy Murphy, correct?
Buddy Murphy 205 Live now.
Okay, yeah. All right, man. So so that's good stuff there. So now I got a little bit of a taste of what you can do in your highlight reel. So explain to our viewers what other moves you have besides your strikes, and I've seen a couple high spots you've done. What's your arsenal, man, and what do you use to finish your opponents off with?
Wow, I have a lot of moves that I use. Recently, in my last 3 matches, I've been using the same moveset, so I'm pretty sticking with these ones. So the ones I use I do a Frankensteiner, which is like a Hurricanrana in a way. So I do a top rope Frankensteiner, a standing Frankensteiner, or a running, jumping Frankensteiner. I do a lot of kicks, for sure. A lot of kicks. So strikes is my thing. Headbutt as well. I do a lot of drop kicks. So whether it's front drop kick, basement drop kick, missile drop kick, I do a lot of drop kicks. I don't ever do any power moves because my character isn't a power guy. So I'm okay with that. So it actually felt really weird when I was learning all the scoop slams and body slams, and I was like, I never used it once in my match, and it was yeah. But some other moves I use is also stuff that's a lot of submissions, actually. I use a lot of submissions in my matches. So stuff like rear naked choke, Kimura lock, arm bar, octopus stretch. So these ones are also a big thing in my arsenal. What I use to finish up my opponents is I have 2 finishers. One is a double knee drop from the top rope on my opponent's stomach. But that I've only used that twice in my life, and I used it my first match and my last match in Australia. I used it for those 2 matches because I feel that finisher is something important that is like only for big matches I'm going to use it.
Okay.
While my finisher now, because there's no ropes, I use the penalty kick. So it's homage to Shibata in a way. I use the PK.
Nice.
So it's like, because I use a lot of kicks, so I might as well use the PK as a kick, because I use kick pads as well, so it gives it extra touch and flair when I kick it, and people are just like, wow. So
very nice, man. Making Shibata proud there.
Who I am.
Yes, sir. Dale, what you got next for him?
So a penalty kick, a la kind of Randy Orton doing the punt kick when he was kind of a bad guy. So are you kind of more a heel in your character, or are you a fan favorite?
When I started off my career, because I had this generic, like, very baby face, I was a baby face. So, like, because I looked really young and the fans could get behind me and everything. But I've played 2 matches where I was a heel recently. My recent match, I was a heel, and my match in Brisbane last year with a different company I was a heel because international star. So when I came in, I got booed without even wrestling yet. I got booed so much, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll play heel this match. So right now, it's kind of hard to say because my next match, I'm facing wrestlers from Malaysia, so in Singapore. So I will obviously have to play face. But their plan for me is if I turn heel, because my last match I played heel, I had this really cocky heel character going on for me, and that really, like, the fans really like that. So hopefully in a while I'll turn full on heel. But for right now, since I'm having international opponents, it's quite hard to just play heel.
I'll tell you what, man, you got me convinced in that picture. The picture where you're sporting all black and you got the towel around you, and, like, I think Velvet Thunder's kind of like in the background. I was like, this dude is one scary looking mofo, man. I'm looking at you, I'm like, this dude looks like just a grizzled old vet. And then, like, you popped up on the cam when we started the interview. I was like, man, this dude's like a baby face assassin. He's like a kid, man. So it's kind of funny seeing the 2 comparisons, like seeing you now, like, besides seeing you in that picture, which brings me. Go ahead.
That match, right? I think that was the only match I've ever had where I've never smiled. I didn't smile once in that match because I kind of changed gimmicks in a way. So I was this Puerto Rican babyface from October to January, and then they said that gimmick wasn't working out because people just couldn't connect with the Puerto Rican gimmick because, I mean, the Singapore and Puerto Rico is really, really far in terms of, like, the nations and everything. So they said, okay, we're going to give you a different gimmick. So that gimmick I had last year was the Future Classic, which is a submission specialist, basically, in a fancier way. So you test my gear. My gear was really basic, the boots and black trunks. So in a way, it was very similar to Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Minoru Suzuki, this kind of, like, more chain wrestling, more technical style. So yeah, that was me last year.
Well, I'll tell you what, those are 3 good guys to look up to, man.
Yeah.
No doubt there. Hey, so speaking of Velvet Thunder, the guy who's in that pick with you, do you consider him as a friend or a foe?
In the ring or out of the ring?
Give us an answer for both.
Okay, in the ring, he's definitely a foe. Every match that Velvet has had in SPW, I've always been in the same match as him. So, like, his debut, I tag team with him, and he didn't break up the pinfall when he could have. I got pinned, and he was just standing there watching me getting pinned. Okay. And then Battle Royal, he threw me out in less than a minute. And our last match together was an intergender match. I guess I'm lucky that my team got the win this time. But yeah, that was the end of our chapter in a way, our rivalry. Okay. But out the ring, we are great friends. We haven't really spoken much since he moved to Philadelphia. But last year when he was in Singapore and SPW training everything, we were always tagging together, partnering together. And even our coach, who was our trainer, Andrew Tang, he even said that me and Velvet have great chemistry together. And yeah, that's very true. The whole Goliath and, like, small guy, basically, small versus big guy. We have a very good chemistry together in wrestling.
Good stuff, man. So, Dale, what you got next for him?
What would you say is your most memorable match so far, and why? Maybe a good one, maybe a bad one.
Most memorable, I would say last year's, I had a singles match in Perth, Australia. I was on the same card as RVD, so that was a pretty big show.
Nice.
So I had one of the main spots in the match. I was co-main in singles match with their top guy, basically. And it was kind of like a test for me to see if I could hang with the big boys. And like that match, I pulled out moves which I didn't know I could do. Like that top rope Frankensteiner, I actually had a muscle spasm 2 weeks before that match. So my back was messed up. It couldn't even like move or anything, and I didn't even work out at all until that match. So when I went there, I was so like, I would say I was really worried for myself. Like he was talking about doing power drivers outside the ring, and I was like, I could barely even like move my back, and it was really hard. But that match was really memorable because I kind of in a way pushed through everything, like muscle spasm or not. I was named actually. I think it was match of the night. It was named, and cool. I had injured back, so I did stuff like the top rope Frankensteiner, the Cien Alma's knees, the Meteora. I did a dive from the top rope outside. So I was doing stuff I should not have done in my predicament, but like I did it anyways, and it ended up getting good fan reactions. Like the fans really loved that match, and I felt really, really good after that match. It was one of those matches where you're just like, I really don't know what I could have like downgraded myself for, because like this match was really good. And in my way, like the way I can wrestle, I think that was the best I could have ever done in that time.
That's the adrenaline, brother. That's what carried you on through that, man, through all the pain and all the hardships and whatnot. So that's good, man. Right on there. So now, two of the companies which you had talked to me about that you were interested in working for, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? Of course, also Noah.
Of course, yeah.
Name a dream opponent from each company that you would like to face, and what stipulation of match if you had a choice.
Okay, so I'll start Pro Wrestling Noah because it's a smaller promotion. There's this guy named Katsuhiko Nakajima. His gimmick is called the Genius of the Kick. So I could imagine me having a 20 and 30-minute bout with him where it's just kicking the living crap out of each other.
Nice.
And probably not even selling any of them until both of us really get hit really hard. It was like, okay, we have to sell now. So that's my dream opponent in Noah, is to have just a singles match with that guy, but in obviously like strong style as hell. That match has to be really strong style. So not really much high spots. It's more start with the match with forearms or just kicks to each other and see who can take it the best. Yeah, right. And for New Japan, I think it's very obvious. My dream opponent is actually Kota Ibushi. My dream is to have a singles match with Kota Ibushi in a singles match in a New Japan ring. Like, Kota Ibushi is actually my favorite wrestler of all time. After the Cruiserweight Classic, he was the only wrestler I could say that I love like watching, because other wrestlers, I mean, I love watching for a period of time and I kind of get bored. After a while, I'll be like, okay, I have to move on from a different wrestler. But Kota Ibushi has been that wrestler where I've never gotten bored of watching him, basically. So Kota Ibushi is definitely the opponent I want to have in a ring.
Okay. So, go for it, Dale. Go.
Another scenario. How about you and Velvet take on Kota and Kenny Omega?
Oh, wow. That would... I'd be pretty scared to wrestle that match. I feel they'll out-wrestle us too much. And I'd feel embarrassed to even like wake up next day and be like, I got out-wrestled by Ibushi and Kenny. But that would be really interesting because I think Velvet's like a big guy, and Kenny's big, but I wouldn't say he's like as big as Ibushi is. You know, because Ibushi is way bigger than him now. So that'd be really interesting to see the clash of styles, because I'm small. I'm very small, but I do like strong style, and I can do technical and high flying as well, but more focusing on strikes. Well, Velvet is like a body guy where he just slams everybody, and Kenny and Ibushi are they're hybrids. They can do anything really. So that would be a very interesting match to have.
So what is the height differential? How tall are you and how tall is Velvet?
Velvet, if I'm not wrong, he is 6'1" or 6'2".
Really? That's it?
Or 6'1", 6'2". I think that's around there. Huh. He's like in terms of centimeters, I think it's 180, 181, 182. If I'm not wrong. Yeah. Well, like for me, I'm 168. 170 around there. So I'm probably like about the same height as people such as what wrestlers are about my height? Maybe like someone like Kushida. So that's like my
okay.
Yeah, that kind of height. So like smaller guy. I'm basically a junior heavyweight in my respect. So that's where I am. Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't had a chance to meet Velvet yet in person. I'm going to link up with him down there in Philly because I'm out in Connecticut, which isn't too far from him. And he seemed like a much taller dude, but I guess I'll get to find out when I meet him in person. So speaking of that, any plans for you to ever, possibly want to come over here to the U.S. to possibly get in some training or, work some companies? Maybe say like the New Japan dojo that they're going to have out there in Cali or something like that?
Actually, I forgot to tell you, I'm actually half American. By the way, my dad's from New York, so
okay.
So I have a lot of family over there. So actually, my plan after serve the army in Singapore, because it's kind of like compulsory to serve it in a way. So after that 2 years I have to do in the army, I am going to head to Japan for training, and then after that, I hope to wrestle the U.S. independent scene, because I honestly believe that the U.S. independent scene is the best in the world. There's no other independent scene. Even though the Japan independent scene is amazing, isn't well known. People don't know much about it, besides probably like 2 or 3 promotions. While in the U.S., everyone knows probably every major promotion there, like PWG, AAW, Evolve. Everyone knows that. While in Japan, people really only know like New Japan, Noah, maybe Dragon Gate, DDT Pro. It's like 4. While America has obviously more options to wrestle there. So that obviously America will be my goal, to end up there and get my name made over there, but get my training done in Japan.
Okay. Once you come over here, man, gotta hook you up with my boys from Northeast Wrestling out here in Connecticut. That's a legit company. I just went to one of their shows the other night. Shout out to Northeast Wrestling and my dudes from over there. Yeah. So, Deb, what you got next for Alex?
So, in your spare time outside of wrestling, what is it that you like to do?
Outside of wrestling, I'm actually a aspiring actor as well. So I go to acting school, like art school. So I do acting for like 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. So besides wrestling, acting is my second hobby. So I do shows frequently. Like last week, I just finished a 4-day show. 4 days in a row, we had shows at night. So I do that as well as wrestling. But I also do silat, which is martial arts from Indonesia, which is the reason why I do my kicks, because I do that. I've been doing that for about 8 years. Mm-hmm. And I kind of do it in high level in Singapore. It means I went to nationals and won nationals. So so I'm a gold medalist at national games for silat. So been doing that for quite a while. And other hobbies are, I play football, soccer for about 14 years. And actually got accepted to the NCAA Division I in America.
Wow.
But when I was in grade 9, when I went to train over there. I play soccer in a high level. I played in Spain as well. I was semi-pro there. So I played in an academy in Spain for soccer. I went to a sports school in Singapore and played for the national under 14 and 15 team over here. So I have a lot of hobbies that I do. Movies as well. I love watching movies.
Okay.
That's
So now, you mentioned that fighting style. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't that the same fighting style as Equal Wise, the dude from The Raid?
I'm not sure who's that guy.
Okay, yeah, those films, The Raid and The Raid Redemption, if you have not seen them, if you like those crazy, high-paced martial arts flips, man, you got to check them out. I mean, it's like along the same lines as like Tony Jaa, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, that kind of stuff, just like with way more guns and way more violence. Okay.
Yeah. There's one guy in WWE right now that actually did Pencak Silat as well, and his name is Aleister Black. He trained in Silat back in Holland, because Holland's actually very big with Silat as well. So when I watched Aleister Black debut in NXT, it was really interesting to say that commentators were like, trained in Pencak Silat, and I was like, hey, I'm training that. So it's pretty interesting to see these guys who are also been training the same stuff as me and just making the level that they are right now.
That's pretty badass, man. Hey, so now we always try to tailor a section of our interviews to our guests. So in this case, we're going to cross time zones here with Alex. So we got some questions for you about Singapore and things to do in Singapore and whatnot. So the first question that I have for you, my man, is how many of the 63 islands within Singapore have you actually had the chance to visit?
I would say I've been everywhere in Singapore. Singapore is it's a very, very small island country and city. We're all three of those. So I've been probably everywhere because I've moved a lot as well. Mm-hmm. So I lived in the north, the west, the central. I've actually never lived in the east though. So that's one place I don't really go to because it's actually it's near the airport. But I go there only to travel to like other countries, but I never really go to the east other than that. So wow, it's a really hard like answer. I would say probably at most 50 out of all of them. Wow. I probably go to everywhere. I've been there at least once every single place. I've been here for about 17 years. Cause I lived 1 year in Spain. So 17 years here, yeah.
Very well-traveled man. Now, I almost want to say that, didn't Velvet Thunder say something about that? About going to school over in Spain as well? I think.
But by himself? Or
I think at one point in time, I could have sworn he told me that he went over to Spain and he went to school over there. I can't remember like what grade of school it was.
I'm not sure because like me and Velvet actually went to the same high school in Singapore. So he was in grade 12 when I was in grade 9.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I don't think he did. So
I'll have to
ask him about that.
Yeah. Del, what you got next for Alice for crossing time zones?
So what is the difference between Singlish and English?
Oh, wow. That is a very hard question to ask. Singlish is basically Singapore English. So everyone basically knows how to speak English here, but they do it in their own way. So I can give you an example right now if you want to.
Go for it.
Okay. You're going to like be like, whoa, what is this? But okay, I'll do it. Hey, what up, bro? Like, want to go eat food or not? I'm hungry. So that is like...
That's English.
That's English. It's like English, but really in their own Singapore twist.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's like their own version of English. So it's really, really weird, I would say, in a way, to speak this English in Singapore, yeah. I don't speak Singlish, but like my mom does because she's Singaporean, and all my friends who are in Singapore speak Singlish. So it's kind of interesting to see them speak like that, but then I speak like this, and it's just the difference in English, but it's the same language.
Okay. Hey, different is cool, man. So now you said something about going to get something to eat. I got to ask you this question because I did my research prior that there's a couple American fast food places over there in Singapore. So which would you say you enjoy out of these four? Carl's Jr.'s, McDonald's, Popeye's Chicken, or Pizza Hut?
So, okay, I've been to all of those. So,
what's your favorite out of the four, you say?
I would definitely rule out Popeyes because they're not, I'll be honest, they're not that good.
Throw this dude off the No Gimmicks podcast, Del. If he was Popeyes, man. I just had Popeyes for dinner yesterday, man. Come on now.
The ones in Singapore, at least, are, I'm going to say, is not as good as McDonald's in Singapore. Okay. So I would honestly say the McDonald's here are the best out of all the fast food chains because for some reason the fries here are addictive. Like they hook people.
The same here.
The fries, for some reason, the fries are amazing. The burgers are great too, but the fries, for some reason, I just keep on coming back for the fries. But I feel bad because like I work out a lot, so it's like I kind of feel like I'm crushing everything I'm doing when I eat McDonald's. But then again, sometimes you just need a cheat day and a break from all that.
Don't eat too much McDonald's, man. You seen that one? What's it called? Like Super Size Me, I think it was called, the documentary.
Oh, okay.
About the dude who ate McDonald's every day for like a few months and almost died or something. So be careful.
I cannot do that. But funny story is actually when I go to Australia every single time, because like the food there is quite expensive in terms of like restaurants and everything, and in Perth it's quite. Because I was in the outskirts of Perth, so it wasn't like the city, so restaurants were really hard to find. So what I would eat every day, and it's either McDonald's or I can't remember what's that place called. It's like another version of KFC over there or something. And in Australia, so basically we eat those every single day, fast food every single day for like lunch, dinner, then even breakfast. Sometimes it's like, oh, let's get mashed potatoes. So like last night, it's just like I don't think I've ever eaten real food when I was in Australia.
Okay.
For all the 5 tours I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to do my research and find out what that place is so I can have that when I go over there. Dale, what you got next for Alex?
So is it true that some Singaporeans boil their water and sometimes drink it warm.
Yep, that is very true. Singapore water is actually very clean water. The tap water is very clean to drink, but some people, I would say it's very hard for them to get warm water because most of the water they have sometimes is just cold. For some reason they did it on the heater or something. I'm not sure, but so they boil it to make it in a way more drinkable for them. But yeah, but actually they can just drink it off the tap. But I don't know. Sometimes they feel much better doing it, as in like now it's better for them to drink it. So yeah.
Interesting. Speaking of drinking, so now correct me if I'm wrong here. The legal age of consumption over there is 18 years of age.
Yep, 18 years old. You can go to a club, bar, anywhere you want.
Do you partake in any of those activities, Alex?
Time to time. I try to be a good boy, but you know.
This is being recorded.
Yeah, so no, I do not go to these places. I spend my nights just watching movies. You know. Yes. For my viewers out there, that's what I do.
Good stuff, man. Okay, so Dale was going to go ahead and help us wrap this on up here.
Well, thanks for coming on, Alex. Thoroughly enjoyed learning a little bit more about you and obviously the country where you come from and all of that stuff there, because obviously I'd probably never ever going to make it over there, so kind of just learning a little bit about the culture over there is very interesting. And at this time, we're going to give you the opportunity to promote any shows or upcoming appearances that you've got coming up.
Well, I got a match in about next Friday. So not this coming Friday, but next Friday in Singapore. I will be facing a Malaysian wrestlers because it's a Malaysia versus Singapore event. So that'll be really fun. And I might be having a match in Malaysia at the end of this month, but I'm not so sure if that's confirmed or not. And other stuff this year is I'm going to Japan most likely twice this year in June for training and in November for more training, and might even be wrestling a show there. So that will be confirmed soon. But that looks for the most confirmed plans for this year are those ones, and other events that might be coming up next when it's announced. Then there'll be other shows to be having.
Cool, man. Also, tell our viewers how they can stay in touch with you on social media.
Right. So I have almost every social media page. I have YouTube, which is Alex Cuevas. If you search Alex Cuevas Wrestling, I am the first channel you'll find. Instagram, Alex Cuevas Pro. Twitter, Alex Cuevas Pro. Snapchat, Alex Cuevas Pro. And if you want to search for my Facebook page, if you can't find Facebook account, if you can't find Alex, find me by searching Alex Cuevas, type in facebook.com/Alex Cuevas Pro. And yeah, that's where you can find me in any way possible now.
And look for the picture of the dude who looks like him kicking the hell out of about 3 different people. That's right on Facebook.
Yeah, please don't get scared. It's actually very safe. So,
hey, all I can say is this young man right here, he's got it together. Subscribe to this dude's channel. Support him however you can. You know, we need more wise, young individuals like yourself, man, who got the right idea. Treat people with politeness and respect. I think you're going to go far in this business, man, with the work ethic you got, and also you got a good head on your shoulders. But, hey, one thing is for sure, we sure as hell can sit up here and talk to Alex all night long, but unfortunately we have came to the end of this episode of the No Gimmicks podcast. So thank you for tuning in for our interview with Alex Cuevas. And we are No Gimmicks, No Image, all wrestling all the time. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos.
No gimmicks. Yeah. No gimmicks, taking over, no limits. Motivation, the truth inside everything you are hearing. Important live, know you feel it. Wrestling is everything that we will know with special meaning. We on it live with no gimmicks.